Greetings, viewers. Welcome to our Marriage Talk Show with your host, Nogwanda Hlope. Anghambi ke ngedwana ngihamba naye Baba Msibi, who is our guest today, lapha eMbabane AEC. Namuhla ke sizokhulumisa such a very big and important topic, of which it's all about security in a relationship. Esikhathini lesiningi uyukhanze ukuthi bamfu want to be in secured relationships. It might not be financially only, but support, because when you have support in a relationship, you do have security, and at times you find yourself quite vulnerable, of which uyayidinga leyo security lapha ekhaya, and at times you're just so stressed out and you just want someone to lean on. So that is all about, just having that security in your relationship. Kepha ke anganzi kakhulu ngicela kuvusela yena Baba Msibi athi nje kuvusela babukeli emakhaya.
Thank you, Sisi. Sivusele babukeli emakhaya nakuma cell phone, wherever you are, especially Bani Labasha. Thank you for hosting us.
Oh, you're much welcome, and definitely we're glad to have you back here. But again, because we are talking about security in a relationship. It might be a marriage, but it's all about just those relationships. Mhlawumbe singakhuluma nge-importance of trustworthiness when you are actually having your partner or to your partner, because these are some of the key attributes that are important when you want to really, really feel secured. If there's trustworthiness, then definitely you'll feel secured. But what is the importance of actually being trustworthy to your partner? We have seen people, at times you find that people feel like, yes, you can be trustworthy, but you cannot be 100% trustworthy. So what can we actually say about being trustworthy? Because at times you assume you're trustworthy, but you're actually not even trustworthy to yourself. So what can we actually say about that?
Ngiyabonga Sisi kakhulu for the opportunity. This is no wonder a relationship asi-establish based on mhlambe tintfo lesinato. Sengikhumbule nje eBhayibhelini lithi lababili abayihamba indlela bangakavumelani. Between lokuvumelana ukuthi sihambe indlela kunale vetting leba khona from both sides, of which one of the things I want to establish ukuthi, can I trust you with my life? Can I trust you with my emotions? Can I trust you with who I am? Ukuthi anginawuthi ngingafika lapho sivumelana ukuthi sihambe lehambo lokuthide ngawe bese ngikhanza ukuthi sengitakhele lidvonga lekucetha ngempilo yami. So I want to say ukuthi in a relationship, trustworthiness is the basis to start that particular relationship we are referring to. Even if singayekela ke relationship yemshado noma abantu labathandana ukuthi asambe siyocala ibusiness nawe, what I will look for ukuthi, can I trust this person ukuthi ngidazi ngafaka imali ibuye yini? So trustworthiness, it is what will give me confidence in walking this walk. I want to start like that.
Okay, well said indeed, Trusty. I mean, being trustworthy will actually give you the confidence to actually work with someone, as you actually say. And kunengelo sokubalile kepha sengiyabuka ukuthi mhlawumbe le foundation yaloku singathini ngako, because in everything you do, you have to actually trust someone to be able to just do that. But how can I actually stop the lack of trustworthiness from my partner? Akhona in Emma foundations thite latongisiza ukuthi ngingadikhanzi se mhlawumbe sekuphelela ebaleni noma sekungasasebenzi due to being, or what can I say, when your relationship is actually suffering from lack of being trustworthy. Because ekucaleni mhlawumbe nicala kahle, but ngekuhamba kwesikhathi bese le trust seyithi gamuka, i-relationship seyasufferisheka, but now nayo le foundation mhlawumbe ingasimama for longevity and all that. What can you actually say about the foundation of ensuring that your marriage does not suffer from such?
Thank you, sis. I would say mine bazalwane umuntu ngekwakhe nje sine buthakathaka lelize lithi live laNkulunkulu nenkosi yavelana nathi buthakathakeni bethu. Lo buthakathaka lobukhulu bubanga ukuthi siphila silanyameni. Lo buthakathaka lokho bubanga lokuthi unguwe nje, you are prone to change at any given point in time. But ke siyambonga uNkulunkulu lokuthi wasendela indlela yokuthi we can be like him, who is the same yesterday, today and forever, by accepting Christ as our Lord and personal Savior, aphile la kithi yena, so that He can teach us to love, He can teach us to do all those things la ngito yena, because lenye inceke yenkosi yakhe yathi, if there is any spirit that is living in you, nakune spirit sebungoma nje sitakukhumula lo mchino lo muhle sikufaka umiyeko sikukhumule leti impahla sikufaka emahiya, because the spirit isifuna kumanifesta. So even God lithi iBhayibheli uNkulunkulu ungumoya, uyabona maka ngumoya uNkulunkulu waphila la kimi, utawufuna lokungithanzisa, utawufuna kuveta lama attributes lama, utawufuna kuveta le trustworthiness lokuthi unguye into namhlanje phakathi. So you can only rely on a person who has encountered God, not a person who knows about God. Njoba silaso nje la kunebantu abemadikhona kadzena kathi bayati ngaNkulunkulu wabantu. Uthi ngalenye ilanga Jakobe makhuluma ngaNkulunkulu uthi uadressa njengaNkulunkulu wababa wakhe Isaac naNkulunkulu wa Abraham, but eBethel la kafika khona wathi ngisengifuna ukuthi wena ke ube uNkulunkulu wami. That was a change of simo between a relationship ya Jacob naNkulunkulu. So ufuna kube nalesigaba lapho khona uNkulunkulu aba uNkulunkulu wakho, masa uNkulunkulu wakho ke utabe sesitiyavela letinto lesikhuluma ngato. So ungakhona ukuthi lelo jaha ungabeka December ukuthi no ngamethemba lo muntu noma lo sisi, so ngamethemba lo sisi. Yes, I can see.
Siyabonga kakhulu babe, sekunengi lokushido, but nje lokumcoka as usho ukuthi umuntu akatane naNkulunkulu kuze ukuthi atokhona phela kuba nalama attributes lafana ncamashi nemdali, hayi ukuthi kube ukuthi uvile ngaye kepha usengakamati. So siyakubonga kakhulu lokho, ngeke vele ukhone ukuthemba umuntu nangabe lithemba lakho lingekho kwaNkulunkulu, kepha ke siyabonga kakhulu kuloko. Lokunye lesike sakubona ukuthi you find that it's the 21st century, we just easily make friends, both males and females. We work with colleagues kwanasesomveni nsemakomitini nibanemihlangano ukhanze ukuthi senivele niyajwayelana mhlambe ekomitini kunabo babe wena maybe ma females I2 sekucala budlelwane ethide, of which lapho mhlawumbe spouse sakho noma partner wakho sekangacala kuva ngazo ukuthi hayi khona lokungashaya kahle noma bese sekuba ne insecurity ethide. Ngabe how can people actually deal with such, because we know that and we've seen that insecurities can actually drive people crazy, but gcine sebeva ngazo ukuthi that person is a threat just because maybe the female is a friend to a male or the male is a friend to a female. So how can we actually deal with that, those insecurities from Emma partners, because phela we become too friendly to the opposite sex. And for maybe I'll speak for the female side, because for us it will be innocent and we're just being nice and helping, but nine nive ngazuthi so too friendly, ngabe lo too friendly ngitamphinza ngimmeasureishe kanjani ukuthi no, you're just being too friendly, because lo munye utawucala vele so yakuvusela hawu uvukile yini unjani, hayi siyaphila sivukile nababe sisaya edolobheni, nami ngidawuthatha as if hawu uyasihlola nje mhlambe njengemzalwane noma mhlambe njengecolleague, but wena bese sova ngazuthi it's just being too friendly to the opposite sex. But ngicela uchubeke and elaborate.
Okay, thank you sis. Ngicabanga ukuthi sikhona lesigaba leso le lapho vele umuntu ngekuba nguye labanye imdalo wabo kula kubo nje lokuba clingy, uyabona angasakujwayele uvanga ukuthi ngabe seniba na that relationship ibe special. But ke lengakusho ukuthi when you are a married person or a person who's now in relationship, as mhlambe si addressa lo, to avoid that sense of insecurity uspouse sakho kufanele ukuthi sale wakha sibaya kule relationship uthi okay ndabo hamba ngingecila, ndabo hamba ngecila, ake sengibekise nje ngibekisele kahle nobekisa nesemakomitini labanye abakashadi, labanye bashadile, labanye baka engage, labanye ba engagile. Lokho konke lesengwenda angikwendi ngicabanga mina kuphela, sengwenda ngicabanga ukuthi kodwa nakangangibona ngisuka la sophelile umhlangano kumbe ngiyobeka sesinokwanda la kahlala khona for instance ngimakholokholo before ngiye endlini yami lekumalagwane kuphinze ngisho na next time kwathi hayi ngicela ngabeka sesinokwanda ngimakholokholo ngabe sengibuya uyabo ngeke umuntu lo naye lo mizwa ya kahle naye lo cause sinyama before sibebazalwane sinyameni utawubuka naye ukuthi sekwentekani so funa ngimbele ukuthi akafeel secure to the extent ukuthi akasube angicabanga ukuthi ngingake ngidlala itayela njengale nakungenteka ukuthi ngalelo langa there was the desperation ye transport ngamthatha sinokwanda umbeka le fanele simake sure ukuthi ngithathe Thando ngamlayisha sahamba sawombeka le ngikwento nje futhi ngishaye ngisaya ukuthi yathi kuthini sekunenkinga ye transport la sisahamba na Thando sawubeka nokwanda amakholokholo ngiyeta lapha endlini so I'm taking this responsibility of going ahead of myself to make sure ukuthi ngiyayiclearisha lento lengaba imbewu noma inhlanyelo insecurity ngale ngakuye atohlala anale kungethemba atohlala anale confidence kimi lapho ke utawuphila naye.
So basically, you have to go the extra mile to make sure that this person doesn't feel insecurities at all costs. What if Thando ke ngalelo langa angekho and kunawe nje kuphela udavese sowenda njani? But it's actually good. The main point is to actually make sure that you cut out all those insecurities because labanye bamfu banema insecurities nje naturally and there's nothing you can do about that. Mhlawumbe kulona lonema insecurities always. What advice can you actually give to that person? Because labanye bese sekuba ngazi ukuthi say syndrome thiti. Ahlale nje yena vele unema insecurities ekufanele kube ngazi ukuthi so please ayena kuze kuthi ema insecurities akhe mhlawumbe athi kuncipha or what kanti naye phela kufanele abe empowered kuze kuthi kungamhluphi kule relationship and just have a way to deal with that. Mhlawumbe what advice can you actually share?
Okay. Lenzaba insecurity like you are saying kukhona vele loba nako kube sa syndrome avele nje abe extreme. That's a separate case to deal with, of course. Like fanele ukuthi I would believe ukuthi even from courtship, those are the things you are looking for. Ukuthi who is this person I'm dating? How am I gonna deal with this person even in marriage? Because lolo kuncane lokubona ngala kwemshado ngale kumagnified ngale ngeshe. Nangabe umbona ngathi unenkhanya lencane ngale inengi ngale ngeshe. So we were talking siqale ukuthi what le scenario ukuthi what if ngalelo langa vele it is just maybe me that I have to take you kude lo munye eceleni. I believe ukuthi lokho akusi a recurring thing, it's a once off thing yabo. So mase kufuna kwendeke again futhi le organization that you are working with kufuna kube nendlela ekubonakala ukuthi how does it cater for that because kufuna nayo le organization iwa respect lama relationships kungaze kufike esigabeni lapho khona umuntu atawudivela asamncane. Yes, but the person who is now extremely insecure, I would say it's a pity nakangak discover yena lokho insecure, but wena lo fisa kuyongena emshadweni naye lo muntu lo very very insecure, you would need proper counseling to deep dive in that and address that issue because ngala ngeke ukuvimbe ukuthi ngidaw relate nalabanye abantu noma sengishade nalo ushade naye yabo, you'll relate with other people, so you have to address that one.
Thank you so much. Asithembe niyeva babukeli emakhaya, make sure that you really go into counseling and just deal with all the issues that you have, especially insecurities, because they can actually be a deal breaker in your relationship. Usaqala a relationship noma usalungiselela kungena emshadweni. Since we're talking about security in a relationship, at times you find that through digital transformation, there is so much that is happening when it comes to the digital world. From laptops to cell phones, you know, there is so much, and sikhulumile trustworthy. You find that a partner might portray being trustworthy to you, but in that gadget there are certain applications whereby this person is actually hiding something. Siyati ukuthi kunema cell phones of which you can actually use your fingerprint or just, you know, your face, actually you just have to put it there and it sees your face, and then basically automatically. But what about your partner? Does that partner have access to that, or sekwakho kuphela because you want to be hiding certain applications? And at times ukanza ukuthi your partner doesn't even know you have such things because maybe they don't go through your phone or you don't share the phone. But nje kulabo labafihle tinfo sithini ngabo who have those applications and those gadgets that need so much kuze kuthi kuvaleke. What can we actually say that, because you want to ensure security in all ways yabo for your relationship kuze kuthi ube guided, because at times udrifter apart just by your cell phone or your laptop and unga realize ukuthi we're actually drifting apart because sonempilo yakho lenye lelapha ecingweni, and partner wakho maybe ngeke azabone because uyamnaka uhlele unayo, but you now have emotional attachments to the things that you're doing on your gadget. What can we actually say about that? Because it's all about creating that security for you and your partner in that marriage, despite the gadgets, despite everything that is happening in this 21st century.
Thanks. That's a very good question, sis. Lesingathi asasikubambe kusamila kinini lengashadi lapha ekhaya. Uyabo asengicale nganalivesi silelithi iBhayibheli lithi ukholwa ngenhlitiyo, bese liyaqhubeka lithi uvuma ngemlomo bla 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 kube kusinziswa, but nje asihlale la kutheni ukholwa ngenhlitiyo. Lokholwa uqhubeka ukholwe ngenhlitiyo. Lokusho kusenhlitiyweni yakho kufuna ukuthi wethembeke lenhlitiyweni between wena and your God, such that kuna le transparency kule relationship yakho. Bese sengibuya ke relationship yami nemngami noma yami nalomunye, if I'm honest to the person I'm married to, ngiba honest from my heart, angibe honest from what yena la kubona la ngaphandle, because la kubona la ngumphumela walolo kulekhathi. Nangabe lobugebengu abshanyile kangabonke, vele ngidawufaka letindvo leti tawuvalela certain things lesethi kuchubeka, because lokhu ngethembeke kwami kukhona, yabo. So ngifuna ke la ekutheni lokwethembeka kwami akube khona, kube le enhlitweni, kube la kimi, ngube kusele uthi lomnye umzalwane ngalinye langa lobabe uthi lobabe lona wake kwafika esigabeni lapho khona abona ngazuthi ku Facebook lo munye make lo shadile bekafuna kuba friendly naye, abesaba too friendly. So lobabe lona wagijima wayodivulge kumkakhe wathi hey mngami, uyathi ngibona la ngimake nawo ufune kuba ngumngane wami ngam-accepta nini, but le ndlela la sangisonzilela ngayo angisayi understand. Lobabe lona ngathatha ukuthi mina he's trying to clear i-conscience yakhe, abhoboke nakumkakhe ukuthi nayi impi nayi ayisuba yami ngedwa, ayibethu sobabili, uyabo, kuze ukuthi ngingagcini ngilimala ngekuthi mhlambe sengi-entertainer lo. Ngathi maka wagcina ama-advisors, you know what, bloka lo muntu suka kuye, uyabo, and it helped them, yabo. Ungabi nento lova ngazuthi nase kungena imessage lengena ka Facebook ufuna uqalade ukuthi uyabona yini, khululeka nje, noma licingo ulishile la ku WhatsApp sake sabona lo munye aphuma ebathroom agcwele emagwebo waze waba ngekuthi kukhala icingo lakhe ngale ngaphandle asendlini yakhe lo baba. So that shouldn't happen. You should be consciously clear that ungamtshela ngibambele ngidambona bangiphuma la ngisageze, yabo. So I think it goes to that level, le transparency ayibe senhlitweni kulo relationship. Amen.
Thank you so much. Ngiyathanza nje lokuthi nangabe transparent, you're able to become trustworthy with just everything from the phone calls to text and everything. Nalokuthi nangabe khona lova ngazuthi uyakuhlupha ukumisa kabi, if the communication is there and if you're transparent, uyakhona go share ukuthi yathi sekunana kulokuvelako ungadili ngako wedwana, because you're a team. So that is actually good. Asithembe ukuthi bamvula basha they're taking note of that. Inkinga ke babe with that, bese lo munye uyakwata uyareact as if you're always entertaining such, mhlawumbe soyamkhomba nje because seku awkward selapha. Ngabe singathini kulaba bhuti Nkosi yami sosikhutele bona.
Yeah, well, ngicabanga ukuthi ngathi umuntu wakho asibeke kanjalo, uyamate ukuthi mangifake kanje itawungena lenzaba kahle ihlale. Bengike ngibone nami ngisakhula, bekuye kusinake nesidingo lesikhona lekhaya, babe makabuye emsebenzini makathule nje prepare kahle ama meals akhe, hani bamixele umlomzala, kanzi mina ngivanga sinakafika ngimjake ngalenzaba, yabo. Make beka ne approach uthi lesela kudla athangadla bese soyasho ukuthi hey kufuneka school fees sanaba kaso so uyathi lo si ngacala kalendzaba akakadli kumbe kutaba nelilakalo lokungabekisa kutaba nelilakalo unnecessary ngoba ledlala lelilaka sengicala ngidile nalo so sengisho ukuthi ke get to a point where you know each other kuze ukuthi wathi so into nje ngayifaka kanjani kuze ngamphathi kabi yabo so I would say that.
Okay, thank you, Babe. At times you find that couples sekangene in business deals sebalahlekelwe imali and it actually backfires. Ukhanze ukuthi lo munye sova ngazi uthi yathi financially we're no longer secure and no munye eve ngazi uthi you took the loan so just deal with it because mina ngukhanze vele uthethe skwenede sabe sesiyashada so dineng timfo letiyetendeke when it comes to money. But how can couples actually deal with such things, because we want to be secured in always good relationship? It cannot just be only spiritually or physically but even financially. Ngabe bangadila kanjani with that, because si promote ukuthi babe unit, si promote ukuthi babambisane kuko konke, kepha ngabe how can they actually deal with that? Ucale nje address mhlawumbe yekuthi bangenele i-business deal yabese seya backfire and they actually have to pay back that loan. Bangenda kanjani in order to actually help each other while still secure what they have? Nalona ke mhlawumbe lo athatha skwenede asaphila yedvana kepha songenile emshadweni nyalo sekufanele leso skwenede sivaleke, kepha lo munye uva ngazo uthi hayi deal with it on your own. But kwalapha ekhaya you just have to make sure ukuthi nangabe ngidinga imali lethide phela sekwethu kufanele uchubeke ukwende kanti nomumfu mhlawumbe soya cripplesheka ngekuthi kusafanele acethelele ya loan lekayithatha previously. Sikuthini lokho?
Okay, thank you sis. Mhlambe ekuqala ngaze first question ngingayibuka ngakuthi nangabe because usebenzisa amagama lathi singenele sonke sathatha i-loan lokusho ukuthi this party is consented to getting into that kind of venture and masingena kuleyo venture leyo kweqala lengakusho ngathi kufanele sithathe calculated risks uyabo singathathi onke amacanza asiwafaka enzawonye, because I believe this one is now for couples who are together. Calculated risks to say makungendeka lento backfire are we going to go hungry for the 5 years esabhadala le loan noma sitakhona kuba nendlela ukuthi siphile on the side? So ngikwenza asithathe bonke amacanza siwafaka enzawonye asisi masena lawo ma risk abe calculated, isikhumbule impilo isachubeka while we nurture the business, the child business, asikhumbule ukuthi ngala kunebantwana bayesikolweni ngala kunaloku lokunye it's not all about what we want to do, what we cannot build Rome in one day. So we must understand ukuthi we must start from an infant stage of growing our wealth or our business. Kuneng lokutawuzayo nathi we have tried a lot with my wife, lokunye didn't work, but it did not disturb mhlambe ukuthi likhaya alisakhona ukuphila sekude impilo. No, uthatha nje lokuncane ukufakela bosi leyo investment yasebenza kukhona lokutawugcina kusebenzile as long as nje nicalculate kahle nifune nama proper advices, because there are specialists out there in banking industry, in building, in business industry. Kunabo said there's so many advices out there, but now to make use and make proper calculated risk, I don't think noma backfire ukuthi sekufa umuntu ngisho njalo. Then secondly, to the wide lot amkhanza nje efike kuwe eta nemjeje wesikwenede noma ungeva ngathi uyamthanza ngicansi asoke nibeketelelane ningayi lemshadweni angasothi leto dinkinga lethu, because I am telling you, you will get into a disaster. Nangabe nje uta nemjeje asekati soche kahle, so that you need to establish a relationship, behavior yakhe towards money first, because money can be a problem in marriage, and the problem is that once you are in marriage sayinkinga lokuphuma ngoba iBhayibheli livetile leminyango ukuthi akuphunywa lapha. So we need to really, that's one of the things in courtship you must make sure you establish ukuthi ibehavior yakhe towards imali yaNkulunkulu kanjani, udla konke uyakhipha yini kwesho uyanikela yini. Those things must be properly established. Angikhulumi ngemakata utavele ahulisa tikwenede uthi wathatha lesika select noma wathi wa apply kanye taqhuma ka select taqhume FNB lamaloni waswabutha onke manje sebayamdla bonke. Be careful now.
Yeah, that one is quite a challenge because siyafuna lokungena but nginati tikwenede side imali but siyabonga loku-emphasize ngabe nangimela lo muntu ukuthi asothe leto tikwenede takhe. What does it actually say about me? Because other people like your partner may expect a certain kind of help. Mhlawumbe ufuna kubona ukuthi utawukhona vele kumbambisa. And mhlawumbe vele it's long-term debts of which uyasibhadala leso stop order on a monthly basis. But sekusho ukuthi vele ake mina ngabe ilona ethatha 5 years aze acethe wena sisudabukuphi ke solo umele 5 years kanti mhlawumbe ujake kuyotala nani and ansakhona vele kuhlala apart from each other. Ngabe vele sikuthini lokho sike singene in depth ukuthi if I let him deal with the debt alone ngithi hi asimekushada acetha kwenede takho, what does it say about me? Shokuthi ngeke ngikhone kumsita kuleto tempo. Let's say unayo le mali and ungamsita ke mhlawumbe nishade but umsita angati.
Okay.
But nje please say something.
Thank you, sis. That's a very good question. But remember, I said you want to establish his behavior or her behavior towards finances. And once you establish that behavior, uyabona ukuthi you know what, this person kwendeka liphutha la noma akusilo liphutha and kuze there. Why would you enter into a date njengomuntu lomusha lesikuthatha umkhona nesize sitofika la uvele ngenhloko? Because noma ngabe ngimusha angati nje ukuthi okay njengoba ngishito ngiyakukhipha kweshumi angati ukuthi okay kunemoto lengiserviceako angati ukuthi okay yathi kuthini ngeke ngiyithengele imoto lenkulu kwanyalo ngoba ngisahamba na indlela naye umlofela understand my finances zakhe ukuthi angena kangaka shothi angispende kangaka yena ifinance ithi ngena kangaka yena spende kangaka utaba ne problem. Remember the basis of all this thing akusiko lokumcuka kwempilo akusiko kushada. Look, you have a destiny. People like Apostle Paul, they preferred not to get married because of nakulazi ekugcineni sengulile kulokudla ngacetha libanga lami nako lokumcuka empilweni yakho. When you get married, you look for somebody who will partner with you well in trying to fulfill that which utawuthi ekugcineni ngicethile libanga la utakusita phike uthola umshado uthole njengemlomusha noma ngibhuti noma ngisisi enibhatale bantwana sigcine nje kuvangani ngalelo langa nishade emva kaloko washona sebabangala noma ke sive ngani sekusemaphepeni ayi seba divorce sebayihlulana. So those are the things we should really vet and check well before we jump into, because we are avoiding with this premarital advices ima divorces, we are avoiding my relationship langa si long lasting, because people must part in death. So we must hurry per se here. So you must really take your time. Either you take your time before you say yes, or you take your time after you say yes. That will lie with your wisdom. Yeah.
Indeed, you have a valid point right there. Thank you so much. Mhlawumbe nje sesigcina ungasitshela kabandi mhlawumbe just a brief summary of the importance of actually ensuring that your partner feels secured in a relationship. Ngiyathi ukuthi we did touch a few aspects. Mhlawumbe kuloku lova ngazuthi kukey in order for your partner to actually feel secured in a relationship.
Ngiyabonga sis. Babukele bakhaya mhlambe sasiyanga sekugcineni umuntu angasho lokuthi kuba sebudlelwaneni noma kuba semshadweni nibe ku relationship ilempilo yale relationship kuthi sethembane mangikwethemba I can be able to do more. Little Bible bangcono lababili kunalo yedwa, but nangabe kude le security kule relationship ungcono lo yedwa kunalababili. So kuJesu mangina Jesu singcono masina Jesu sobabili because of the trust he has in me and the trust I have in him. Asobuke emaphutha lengwendako but mangibuyela ngicolisa Jesu naNkulunkulu uyangicolela alahlelwa ndlela ekukhohlwa. So that is the security that is there with mhlambe kule relationship lenginayo naNkulunkulu. So even in that relationship yabantu lababili labathandzanako kukhonakala kuqhubekeka ngalokuthi siyethembana ngikhululekile ngawe angithi ngendalo kwangibe ngicabanga sengabe lemva ke konakala. I can even go further and plan open-mindedly, so because there's a backing behind me. Thank you, sis.
Thank you so much, Baba, and I hope you will join us again. We know that we'll be shooting another episode, so definitely he will come back. Just make sure that you tune in. And today it was all about establishing that security in a marriage or a relationship. Siyati ukuthi Emma relationships face a lot, but indeed, as Baba Msibi has said, being trustworthy is very, very important. Utokhona kuba vulnerable to your partner and actually share a lot of things. Siyati ukuthi it's the 21st century, and as much as people are all about the love, couple goals and all that, but that security is very important because it will definitely ensure a longevity into your relationship and just, that vulnerable side of you and just everything else. But make sure that you continue to subscribe in our YouTube page. You can add comments or questions, and also on Facebook, Sikona, and on Instagram. Join us again next time.